There comes a time in life when you look back and realize just how much you've learned, often the hard way. If you're anything like me, you've made mistakes, taken wrong turns, and found yourself lost in the process of figuring out who you truly are. But through it all, I've learned one crucial lesson. The key to a fulfilling life lies not in avoiding mistakes, but in learning from them and having the wisdom to change course when necessary. This book is a collection of the 100 most important laws I've discovered through my own journey. These laws are not just abstract concepts. They're the practical wisdom I wish I had known earlier. They are the principles that will help you navigate life with confidence, purpose, and peace of mind. The first lesson I learned, perhaps the most important one, is that self-respect is the foundation of everything. In my younger years, I often sought validation from others, hoping their approval would give me the sense of worth I lacked. But what I found is that when you seek approval from the outside world, you're handing over control of your happiness. Respecting yourself, your values, your boundaries, your decisions is the first step in building a solid foundation for a fulfilling life. It's only when you value yourself that others will start to value you in return. Never compromise your self-respect for the fleeting approval of others. I've spent a lot of time chasing external validation, especially when I was younger. There was always a desire to fit in, to be liked, to be admired. But I soon realized that the pursuit of others' approval is a never-ending race, one that only leads to burnout and discontentment. True peace comes when you stop relying on others to define your worth, when you learn to quiet the noise around you and focus on what brings you peace. You'll find an inner strength that no external approval can ever provide. Mental peace is priceless, and protecting it is non-negotiable. Self-reflection is one of the most powerful tools you have in life. I didn't understand this until much later in life, but it's something that can change everything. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to forget who you are and why you're doing what you're doing. Self-reflection gives you the clarity to step back and evaluate your actions, your goals, and your relationships. It allows you to ask the tough questions and to make sure you're living in alignment with your values. When you take the time to reflect, you begin to understand yourself on a deeper level, and that understanding leads to a life lived more intentionally and with purpose. One of the hardest lessons I had to learn was to never compromise my identity for short-term rewards. In the pursuit of success, I often found myself bending my values, silencing my true thoughts, and doing things that didn't feel right, just to fit in or get ahead. But each time I did that, I felt a sense of emptiness. True success comes when you stay true to who you are, even when it's hard. Temporary gains, whether they are material or social, don't last. But your integrity and self-respect will stay with you forever. Anger has a way of clouding your judgment and making you say and do things you regret. I've been in situations where anger led to decisions I wish I could take back. Over time, I've learned that anger, while natural, must be controlled if you want to live a peaceful life. When anger arises, take a deep breath and give yourself the space to respond calmly rather than reacting impulsively. It's in those moments of pause that you regain control and prevent yourself from making decisions that will cause more harm than good. Holding on to grudges is like carrying a heavy burden. It's something I've done for far too long, letting past wrongs keep me tied to the pain of the past. But I've learned that holding on to resentment doesn't change anything. It only keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity. Forgiving others, whether they ask for it or not, frees you from that weight and allows you to move forward. Letting go of grudges doesn't mean excusing bad behavior. It simply means releasing their power over you so that you can focus on your own growth. Throughout my life, I've realized that the people you spend time with shape who you become. I used to think that it didn't matter much who I was around, but over the years, I've learned how crucial it is to surround yourself with individuals who inspire, challenge, and support you. The right people will help you grow, push you toward your goals, and keep you grounded. The wrong people, on the other hand, can drain your energy and keep you from reaching your potential. Choose wisely who you let into your circle. Life is full of opportunities for growth. And one of the most important things I've learned is that learning never stops. Whether it's formal education, self-study, or learning from your experiences, the pursuit of knowledge is an ongoing journey. I've found that the more you learn, the more you realize how much there is still to know. Never let your curiosity die. The world is full of lessons, and the more you open yourself to them, the more equipped you are to navigate life's challenges. In my earlier years, I often invested a lot of energy into relationships with people who didn't value me in return. I gave and gave, hoping that somehow they would appreciate my efforts or recognize my worth. But I soon learned that relationships should be based on mutual respect, not one-sided efforts. The people who truly care about you are the ones who support you, lift you up, and stay by your side in good times and bad. These are the people you should prioritize, because their presence in your life will help you grow, not drain you. Don't waste your time on people who don't value you. Focus on the ones who do. One of the most painful lessons I had to learn was that not all relationships are meant to last, and some are just not worth your time. One-sided relationships, where you're the only one putting in effort, will always leave you feeling exhausted and unfulfilled. These relationships may take different forms: friendships, romantic relationships, or even professional connections. It's important to recognize when you're the only one carrying the weight. Don't be afraid to let go. Your time, energy, and love should be invested in relationships that are reciprocal, where both parties contribute and benefit. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is walk away. I've often stuck around in situations longer than I should have, out of fear of the unknown or guilt over leaving things unfinished. But I've learned that walking away isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of strength. It takes courage to leave behind situations, people, or environments that no longer serve your growth or happiness. Whether it's a toxic job, a draining relationship, or a bad habit, walking away allows you to make room for something better. Don't be afraid to close doors that no longer align with your future. The people you choose to surround yourself with can have a profound impact on your life. I used to think it didn't matter much who I spent my time with, but I quickly realized that the right people can elevate you while the wrong ones can hold you back. I've learned to seek out relationships with individuals who inspire me, challenge me, and push me to be better. These people help you see things from a new perspective and encourage you to reach for things you might not have thought possible. Make sure your circle is filled with people who push you to grow, not people who are content to see you stay where you are. One of the most transformative realizations I've had is that learning is a lifelong process. I used to think that once you finished school, you were done with learning. But life has a way of proving you wrong. Whether it's through formal education, reading books, or learning from experience, every day offers an opportunity to grow. I've learned that the more I educate myself, the more I realize how much there is to know. In a world that is constantly evolving, it's essential to keep expanding your knowledge and skills. Embrace learning as a continuous journey. It's the key to personal growth and success. Failure is something we all face, and for a long time, I let it define me. I feared failure so much that I avoided risks, played it safe, and held back from pursuing my goals. But over time, I came to understand that failure isn't something to fear. It's an essential part of the journey. Every successful person I know has faced failure at some point. It's through failure that we learn our greatest lessons, refine our skills, and grow stronger. Embrace failure as a stepping stone to success, not a roadblock. The sooner you accept failure as part of the process, the quicker you'll be able to bounce back and try again with more wisdom. There was a time when I set big, lofty goals without understanding the work and discipline it would take to achieve them. I learned the hard way that goals need to be broken down into actionable, realistic steps. Ambitious goals are great, but they only become attainable when you focus on progress, not perfection. It's the small, consistent actions that will get you closer to your dreams. Setting realistic goals gives you a sense of direction, and working toward them consistently builds momentum. Remember, success isn't achieved overnight. It's the result of daily effort and dedication. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. I used to avoid anything that made me feel uncomfortable, but I've learned that it's often in the most uncomfortable situations where the most growth happens. Whether it's taking on a new challenge, having a difficult conversation, or stepping into a situation that scares you, embracing discomfort is a sign that you're moving forward. The more you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, the more you grow. Don't shy away from discomfort. Embrace it, because it means you're evolving. One of the biggest mistakes I made early in life was spending money without thinking about the future. It was easy to get caught up in the moment and buy things I didn't need just because I could afford them. But over time, I realized that living below your means is a key to financial freedom. It's not about depriving yourself, it's about making conscious choices that prioritize your long-term goals. I've learned that true wealth comes from living within your means, saving and investing for the future, rather than indulging in immediate gratification. The earlier you start investing, the more you'll benefit in the long run. I didn't realize the power of compound interest until much later, and by then, I had missed out on years of potential growth. Investing isn't just for the wealthy. It's for anyone who wants to secure their financial future. Whether it's stocks, real estate, or starting a business, the key is to start as soon as possible, even if it's with small amounts. It's not about how much you invest, but about getting started and being consistent. The earlier you begin, the more your money can grow. I once made the mistake of tying my self-worth to the amount of time is the one resource that you can never get back. I've often found myself wasting precious hours on things that didn't matter, only to realize later how much time I had let slip away. Over time, I've learned to treat time with the respect it deserves. Time is finite, and how you choose to spend it will determine the course of your life. Instead of wasting time on distractions, start prioritizing what truly matters. Whether it's focusing on your personal growth, spending time with loved ones, or working on your goals, remember that time is one thing you'll never be able to reclaim. Use it wisely. We all have a million things demanding our attention every day, but I've learned that not everything is worth your time. Early on, I was often overwhelmed by the sheer number of tasks I needed to complete, and I would jump from one thing to the next without ever feeling like I was truly making progress. Over time, I understood the importance of prioritizing tasks that align with your long-term goals. You can't do everything, and that's okay. Focus on what moves you closer to where you want to be, and let go of the things that don't contribute to your bigger picture. Prioritization is the key to productivity and peace of mind. There are certain habits and people that drain your energy and waste your time, and I've learned to recognize them over the years. Whether it's spending hours on social media, engaging in meaningless conversations, or surrounding yourself with toxic individuals, time-wasting habits can rob you of your energy and focus. I used to feel obligated to engage in certain activities or relationships, but I've come to understand that I have the right to protect my time and energy. If something or someone is not adding value to your life, it's okay to walk away. Your time is too precious to waste. It's easy to set goals and forget about them, but I've learned that success requires constant evaluation and adjustment. Life changes, and so do your priorities. What may have been important a few months ago might no longer align with where you are now. I've found that regularly reviewing my goals helps me stay on track, identify areas of improvement, and celebrate small wins along the way. Don't be afraid to adjust your goals as needed. Flexibility is key to achieving long-term success. Life is a dynamic journey, and your goals should evolve with you. I used to take my health for granted, thinking that I could push through anything without taking care of my body. But I've come to realize that your physical health is the foundation for everything else in your life. If you're not feeling well, you won't have the energy or focus to pursue your goals or enjoy your relationships. Regular exercise, eating well, getting enough sleep, and managing stress are essential to maintaining a strong body and mind. Don't wait until health problems arise to take action. Start investing in your health today, because without it, nothing else matters.